Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video, well, this started as what was basically gonna be a typical review. Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. It has since kind of evolved into a little more of a story. So today's video is gonna be a long one. If you're here for a review, there are segments of this that get into review, but other parts of this are really more of a story. There is a ton of field use footage here, some beautiful scenery, and really paints a picture for the point I'm trying to get across. Now the story, this is the tale of two boots. Well, two different models of boots, but really 4 pairs of boots, so maybe this is the tale of 8 boots. But at the end of the day, what I'm really trying to say is I have been testing out some Salomon boots, and I thought this was originally going to be a review on the Salomon Outback 500 GTX. Then it morphed into maybe a review of the 4D Quest GTX, and well, I don't know, at this point it's a mess. Things are kind of confusing. I have a lot of data points, a lot of things to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing what I'm confused about and about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Okay, so why am I kind of confused? Why are things not really working for me? And why did this turn into a story rather than a review? Well, bottom line is it goes like this. So I bought a pair of boots. In fact, I am wearing these today. Just gonna slip them off here real quick to show them to you. So this here is the very first pair of the Outback 500 GTX that I intended on getting for the hiking, camping, and backpacking application. Bottom line is, these ended up about a half size too large for me. Now, most of my typical hiking boots, I wear a size 12. If somebody was to ask me, what size boots do you wear? I would say size 12. And that's what I bought. Now, if you look carefully, there is a little bit of some conflicting information out there, but predominantly what you will find is with Salomon boots, people are giving the advice to buy a half size down. That's what I should have done, but I didn't. These are a 12, and I needed myself an 11.5 just to have good quality boots that fit my feet perfectly for that hiking, camping, and backpacking application. Now, I did decide that I was going to keep these. I do now wear these pretty much every single day for the urban environment. I wear them to work. I wear them, out and about. I greatly enjoy these. They feel great on my feet. They're perfect for this intended need, but I needed myself some boots for that hiking application. And so that's what leads me to the second pair of Salomon Outback 500 GTX boots. This here, slightly different color, right? So these ones here, now for the urban environment, these ones here I decided were gonna be my trail boot. Now these I did buy a half size down. These here are an 11.5. So I was super excited. I started wearing these, getting them out on the trails, and I figured out there was a deficiency. Now I'm gonna get into that, but first I'm gonna roll in that trail use footage so you can see what I've been getting into. Now, if you want to fast forward and get to more of the review, check out the timestamp below. But here you go, some good field use footage showing these Outback 500 GTX boots in use. So fairly typical terrain here, as you can see. Good amount of rocks and roots. I mean, that's pretty typical of where we hike. A lot of straight shots, not a lot of switchbacks, and reasonably aggressive. So pretty rugged terrain.
That'll be a good test for those boots.
Absolutely. Hey, pup.
Walking a little light.
Right over there, but this is where I was not, because you were standing here filming me coming up.
One of those fine moments.
What do you do? All of a sudden pop up on you? Yep. Like pitching about his feet. He's all of a sudden like, oh, hey, how'd you know? I'll wait here. Thanks, guys. Wow. Nice. Nice work. Good job. Feels good. Yeah, got it. There it is. Doesn't count if you don't touch it. Oh, baby. Nice. So, okay, there's the field use footage. Now, the question is, where does the problem come in? Well, if you see that footage, I basically had two hikes. One hike was very basic. It was 20 miles, but it was 20 miles dead flat, not a lot of rocks, not a lot of abuse, a little bit of water, but not a big deal. The second hike, which is the bulk of the footage that you saw there, pretty rugged, good elevation gain, pretty much a lot of rocks and roots, tons of mud, a lot of water, and these boots did develop a problem. It's going to be subtle, but in some of the areas on the toe cap, it is peeling off. And rolling in some photos here, you can see that there were some areas where the toe cap did start to pull off. Now that's problematic for me for a number of reasons. Number one is the last thing I need is pieces of my boots falling apart. When you're out there in the wilderness, the deep remote wilderness, the last thing you can have is problems with your gear. I really cannot afford to have problems with my boots. Now, do I think ultimately the toe cap peeling off is going to be, I would say, a catastrophic failure? No, but I also don't want to chance it. And there's a couple things that, to me, are a problem with the fact that the toe cap's peeling off. One is obviously the durability. I don't want to have durability problems. Two would be if this started to flap, the potential to catch it more and more and more on different things. But third is it creates a trap where if there's moisture on the boots, it can really sit in there and it can linger. Dirt and grime and moisture can get in there. The toe cap's going to continue to get worse and worse. And for boots that really aren't cheap, that's going to be a problem for the durability, the long-term longevity of the boots, but also maybe even the potential to keep my feet dry. The last thing I want is moisture sitting against my feet at a long duration period of time. To me, it's potentially not safe, and I really just need to trust my boots. So I reached out to the people at Salomon for a warranty claim, and they believe and have since fulfilled a warranty claim because they believe that this is a manufacturing defect. So the people at Salomon even acknowledging that the defects that I found are defects on the boots. And that's what leads me to a turn in the story. So when it gets to the warranty claims, in order to even get a replacement boot, what you need to do is send in pictures of the defect. You also need to send in your original receipt for the place that you purchased the boots. And finally, on the inside, there is a tag. And that tag has the manufacturing number and all the information about the boots. And they need to see that clearly. So my first piece of advice is, if you think you're going to be potentially using a warranty claim on Salomon boots, you absolutely need to get yourself clear pictures of this particular tag, because I can tell you, after you wear these, and not even for a long period of time, that tag will wear out, and once you can't see it, you can't submit it to Salomon. So my advice is get pictures of that tag right away, put it on file, and just have it in case you need it. These boots have a 2-year warranty. So the fact that I'm seeing toe cap problems and things peeling off of them right away tells me that in the long term, you may really need to pay attention to that warranty. So that's my first piece of advice. Just grab clear pictures of that tag, keep it on file in case you need it. But luckily for me, I did get these warranted. And so Salomon sent me a code that I could plug into their website and gave me the full value of the boots in credit towards their store. And that's where these come in. These are the Salomon Quest 4D GTX. And so these boots were about $220. I got a $220 credit. These were $240. I paid the $20 difference. Now, I still have both pairs. For some reason, I didn't need to turn these in. I don't know why. That wasn't part of their policy, and I still have these. So I pretty much paid about 20 bucks for these, which is interesting, and I don't know if that's the right way this warranty claim was supposed to go, but that's how it went. And so I wore these on a very aggressive trip recently. So now, rolling in that trip footage, you can see exactly what I did to put these boots through the paces and really give them a strong test. Again, out here on the trails, trying out the second pair, and so far so good. Feel great on my feet, very comfortable. They actually have a little more insulation than the Outbacks, But so far so good. Definitely be interested to see how these hold up after pretty rugged terrain. Now, so far, this is very indicative of what we typically hike. So, two very similar, almost parallel types of trips, testing each one of the boots, and hopefully these ones hold up a lot better. So tomorrow, we'll be up on that ridge, and we're gonna go all the way up and over, and then we continue on actually beyond where you can see. But looks like we're gonna have ourselves a little bit of a steep time, but looking forward to that. Very cool spot. I love it here. I've been here a few times. You can see up there, there's snow. So even though it's still early October, getting some snow up on the higher peaks. I don't know that we'll see snow tomorrow, but there's a good possibility, so we're prepared for it.
Glorious. Nice.
Nice. Oh, cool features, huh?
Yeah, it's way. Yeah, those steps are really weird.
It's getting warm.
Let's see that.
It's beautiful.
So good.
So on this trip we are encountering a little bit of ice. This is the time when you really need to trust your boots to do what you need it to do. And so far so good. I mean, I think both myself and Terry will say that the Salomon Boots are doing a decent job. Now hopefully I don't bite my words, but this is the type of thing, just slick ice right on the side of rocks. It's early in the season. And we did bring spikes in case we need them, but obviously putting the spikes on is kind of a pain in the neck, so try to do it without and hope for the best. But anyway, definitely encountering some tricky terrain here. whole thing's ice. Just be careful up here.
Yeah, you're right. A little slush.
Nice. Beautiful. Catch the cairn, man. Make sure you pound it, or it doesn't count. There you go. Nice, dude. Good job. Bam. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Different view. But nice. A lot of people up here today, huh?
That's like kick-ass right there. That's the pond, man. I love it. That's pretty awesome. Sick. That is like so awesome. That's your campsite right down the middle of that rock. Look at that. Yeah, dude, this is awesome. Shows how just how
See the people sitting down there? Orange?
Yeah. That's really important.
Alright, hold on, stay there. Stay right there. So Terry, day one with the, well, actually, I can't even say day one because you've worn these before, but on our trip, it's day one.
Yep.
You got the Outback GTX here. And just curious, so one thing I do want to bring up, and this is actually the third color, so getting into it here, this is the third colorway. You'll see it's kind of that like bluish gray with the blackish gray and then the olive. So a slightly different look from the two pairs that I have. But anyway, getting into the condition and the comfort and the day out on the mountains, man, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they're great. Like a big step up from my last pair. And considering the conditions today with the ice and the, just the inclines and declines, they did not slip. I mean, the soles were really safe and really no strain on my toes, which I usually get. And yeah, overall comfortable. No complaints.
So the problem that I had with mine was the toe cap was starting to peel. And there were a few places where it definitely was pulling away. And the good thing I see is yours do not seem to have that same problem. Let's look close, because the places where I had issues were kind of on the corners here.
Mm-hmm.
So you see that was like a little bit of a stress point, and yours actually seemed to be very sound. And I think that's important because looking at a representative sample of a product will tell you more than just one of them. And now we have two pairs that we've seen that really have had very similar trail time, and not only trail time but trail conditions.
Yeah.
Now for me, so far so good, I think. First thing I can say is my feet were definitely comfortable. Not too much in the way of hot spots. Now, if I do have problems with my feet, will generate a problem with my left heel, kind of in the back corner. That's where most boots will get me. It's just the shape of my feet and the way, they rub. But these boots so far have not rubbed. I'm curious about the toe cap. Are these holding? So far, so good. I'll get these back to the studio and really clean them up and look in detail. It's hard to tell with, the dirt. But I definitely beat them up pretty good. Looks to me like if there's going to be a problem, I'm going to have it. Oh, look, it is. It is starting to peel. So you look at that. That's a second pair of boots, Salomon. They're starting to peel. That's going to become a problem. I can't have problems on the trail, so we'll look at it in a little more detail tomorrow, but that's already got me nervous. We'll see what happens.
Wow, that's interesting.
Not good.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
Yeah, keep an eye on them, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm nervous, those toe caps.
Yeah, coming off with especially drying out and getting wet. I mean,
That's right. That's right.
Which obviously, I'm not going to be shocked if this happens to these eventually. Obviously, it will.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they need to know about that. I think that my personal opinion is that's not acceptable.
No, especially two in a row.
Right, two. Not only that, two different models.
Right, two separate.
Right.
The same company though. That's I mean.
We'll keep an eye on it.
We'll see.
Let's see what tomorrow's going to be. Maybe even a little more rugged. We'll see what comes its way. Day 2. We've been at it a little bit. You ready to stomp this?
Do it.
All right, we're going to get busy. Because even though it doesn't look like it, we have some steep terrain that we're about to get busy with for pretty much the rest of the day. And hey, you know what? If your boots are going to fall apart,
this is when they're gonna...
I think this is when it's going to happen. And if mine are going to get worse, this is definitely when it's going to happen. So
for sure.
Guess we'll find out at the end.
We will.
Good luck. Hopefully they make it. All right, man.
We'll see. You're right though. Watch mine will peel.
I hope not.
Good level. Technical right there. walking trail, huh? So there we go, there's cannon right there. So.
All right, so at this point, we are making good time. However, we are absolutely about to have our work cut out for us. That is serious. Looking forward to it, I guess. but that's pretty sick. So yeah, we're going up to about where that tower there is. So yeah, we got some work to do, and obviously this is a fairly substantial scramble down until we go back up. Amazing, but a lot of work.
Holy shit. Wow.
That was sick. And there's a ton of sick to go. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Where the hell did we go? We go up here? I guess so.
Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah.
Oh man. Good job. What a difference a day makes. That is the same ridge we were looking at yesterday, completely covered in snow.
How you doing?
And now it is literally completely clear. Last night was crazy, crazy, crazy. Tons of wind, but it was a warm wind, and you can see it just ate all the snow and ice in one night. That is absolutely wild. But what a beautiful sight out here. This is magnificent. We've been very busy all day today, but well worth it. This is pretty epic. How you doing there?
Doing it.
Making
A
it?
little bit beat up, but yeah, making it.
Final push has been some significant downhill.
Significant. Probably the most significant of the whole trip, I think.
In terms of downhill, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
length of time.
Yeah, has been a non-stop crush, and I think it's pretty much gonna spill out into the parking lot by the time we're done. So yeah, we've been going at it. A couple slips, a couple little mishaps.
Yep.
Both of us. There's nothing you can do. You get onto this real slick rock, and even the stuff that's dry, and just with the amount of downhill moisture and fact that we've been at it for a couple days, well, hey, but that's the way it goes. So we'll pound out of here and call it a trip. And as we suspected, it spits us right out. But hey, here you go, buddy.
Yep.
We made it, dude. Nice job. And I'd say both of us agree that was some of the hardest earned 5.5 hours of hiking we've done.
Consistent, yeah.
Consistent, just pounding. But the reward for all of this is we have 2 miles back on some road we're going to try to find.
Nice.
See if we can find the car.
To be continued.
To be continued. Hopefully we don't need to set up camp out here for the night. All right, you ready to get out of here?
Let's do it, yeah.
Let's do it, buddy. So now taking a look at Terry's boots here. Let's see if there's anything opening up. I mean, there is a tiny bit right there, and that's where mine started to let go. And I can also see a tiny bit right there on this one, but not bad, and not nearly as bad as mine. That does not have me concerned at all, and especially compared to how mine were. And this one, I can tell you already, is already perfect. So I don't see any concerns with this boot. So Terry's, I think, were manufactured a little bit better than mine. Maybe better glue, different glue, more glue, who knows. But he does not seem to have the problem I have. And at this point, I'm gonna get home, clean these up real good, and take a look at them a little bit closer. But for now, hike is over. Let's get out of here. And so now, back from the trails, looking at these Quest 4D GTX boots. Well, unfortunately, as you saw, they did develop the same problem with that toe cap peeling off. That is a wicked frustration. At this point, am I being nitpicky? Is that considered to be normal wear and tear? Well, if at the end of the day, Salomon decides that that's a problem and a warranty claim on these boots, what about these? So I'm a little bit nervous about the overall quality of Salomon boots, most specifically on the toe cap area. Looking at both pairs and looking at Terry's boots, it's hard to say if that's going to be a problem from copy to copy to copy, or if I just got some bad samples. But bottom line is, why would I get 2 bad pairs of boots? And if that's the case, do they have bad glue? Do they not have enough glue? Are they not paying attention in the quality control? I mean, this to me is definitely going to open up over time. That was just the first trip, and I need to rely on these from mile after mile after mile, and maybe hundreds of miles, and definitely remote. So do I want to trust these? Well, the jury's, I don't know, up in the air right now. I can't really tell you for sure. I'm going to need some more time to test these, but the problem is my initial impression is maybe Salomon is not the company for me. Now, I have to say, very comfortable. Both pairs, all pairs, very comfortable. My feet never get wet. They have not yet been wet, and I've been in some very wet conditions. They're light, durable for the most part in all other aspects. I like the overall aesthetics. I'm just concerned with the final quality. So even though this video did not necessarily turn into a full-fledged feature review, which I wanted it to be, at this point I am hyper-focused on some of these sole, sort of fabrication areas, the tongue, the glue, the toe cap, and the areas of wear that matter. So that's what I'm paying attention to. I'll probably do a follow-up on this at some point. I'm not really sure. Going to continue to test these, continue to use them, and hopefully they don't leave me stranded on the trails. So all right guys, there you have it. A look at both the Outback 500 GTX and the Quest 4D GTX boots from Salomon. A lot to be had. I don't really know. Curious about your thoughts, curious if you have advice, if you've had other manufacturers where you've dealt with similar issues, if you think this is a big deal, not a big deal, just leave some comments. I'm curious to hear from all of you. So all right guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.